I'm David Phillips, your host for Estate Planning Made Easy, the podcast that teaches you how to keep your wealth in the family. Well, today I've got some exciting news that I want to share with you toward the end of our broadcast, but I want to begin by telling you a very quick story. So my Aunt Mary was one of the most gracious people on the planet. She never really married. She had a boyfriend for a long period of time, and she was raised during the Depression. It took care of my mom and her sister when her mother kind of bailed on them. And then later in life, she moved in with us into our home in Sacramento. She was a beautiful person and just loved us kids. And I remember the popcorn she would make for us when we get home from school. I mean, she was awesome. And later in life, she got serious osteoporosis and arthritis in pretty much every joint in her body. She wasn't a big person anyway to begin with, but this disease crippled her. And for years, my mom and her sister would switch off each year to take care of Aunt Mary. So in other words, while she was young and vibrant, she took care of us. And now she's frail and we're taking care of her. Our lives totally changed when Aunt Mary came to the home. Sure, we were involved with taking care of her as much as we could, but we couldn't go on vacations. We just were kind of basically in charge of Aunt Mary for that year. And our lives revolved around that. And my mother's sister's life revolved around taking care of her the years that she would have her. Eventually, care became impossible in the home, and so we had to send her to a nursing home. Now, I tell you this because my Aunt Mary's greatest vision was to make sure that my mom and her sister received an inheritance from her of about $115,000 each. She had it stored away. She didn't need the money. And so she was using this and had this money set aside specifically for my mom and her sister. Well, because of her disease and because of the care that was needed to take care of her, she had to go to a nursing home, and the nursing home would not take her until she spent those assets. So within a short period of time, all of the inheritance was gone. And then she qualified for Medicaid. And so I tell you that story because that's kind of painting yourself into a corner. There's only one option you have for the family to take care of you, and to have the government then step in and take care of you after you've spent down all of your assets. I know that's not your goal. I know that as you listen to this podcast today, that is not your goal. And given the fact that 80% of all women will, like Aunt Mary, need care in a long-term care facility if they're over 65 today, and 70% of all adults over 65 will need care, there is an eventuality this is going to happen to you. In fact, the probability is significantly high. So we've talked about long-term care in previous episodes. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up and talk about it today is because one of the carriers that we have used in the past has just introduced a brand new version of their Return of Premium long-term care. And this product is very, very good, but it is also about 10% lower in cost than the champion that currently reigns in this area. And I tell you that because with inflation, we've seen, since COVID especially, we've seen gasoline go from $1.50 to over $3.50 a gallon. We've seen the cost of butter. I went in the other day, and I know that I was able to get butter for $1.50. I went in the other day and Jane said, I've got to have butter, go get it. $7 for a pound of butter. I know that that's unusual, but I had to get it right then and couldn't wait for the sales. And so, I mean, the inflation is a big part of our life right now. Things have gone up. I think cost of everything has gone up. Well, in this case, in this new plan, this new Return of Premium long-term care plan, the costs have actually gone down. So while everything else is going up, this has gone down. And so now is a great time for you to jump in on this. Now, if you currently have a long-term care plan, especially a Return of Premium or a leveraged care solution plan, stick with it because you probably got it at a very, very low cost. But right now, if you are thinking, okay, well, I would like to look into leveraged care solutions. I would like to look into this Return of Premium long-term care. Now is the time to do it. So let me explain what a Return of Premium long-term care is and how it works. First of all, you're not buying long-term care. You're not spending money like you would for a traditional long-term care or like car insurance or homeowners insurance. You put the money into those plans, and if you never use it, you never get your money back. With a Return of Premium long-term care, it's special because if you put the money into it, you're repositioning it. You're taking it from your left pocket and you're putting it into your right pocket. And that repositioning allows the insurance company now to be the holder of your dollar. You take a dollar, put it left pocket, right pocket. The insurance company now holds that dollar. So in the case of the Return of Premium long-term care, if I have a dollar in my left pocket and I transfer it to my right pocket and I'm 60 years old, that dollar immediately is worth $5 for care, okay, in this plan. Now, usually in most plans it's $3, but because I'm 60 years old, it's $5. If I'm 70 years old and I'm a male, it's worth $3. But at 60 years old, it's worth $5 for my care. If I can't do 2 of the 6 activities of daily living or I'm cognitively impaired, that triggers the long-term care benefit, and a pool of $554,000 is immediately available to me for my care. They pay that out, the carrier pays it out over 72 months. So it's the initial benefit is $7,024, $7,000 a month. So, but that 7,000 will increase by the inflation rider of 3% compound. So we allow that $540,000 to compound over the years, and in 10 years, the pool would be worth $711,000 in 10 years, which would translate to a monthly long-term care benefit of $911,000. Now, this is all in this report, the Return of Premium Long-Term Care Report. So this chart will be there for you so you can kind of see. And I'm using in the chart 60-year-old male and female and a 70-year-old male and female. And 20 years, that pool would grow to $1 million. So my dollar becomes $1 million for care, which translates to a first-year benefit. So in this case, I would be 80 years old, trigger the long-term care, and my monthly benefit would, out the gate, would be $12,000 a month. The IRS has said, because this is beneficial for the country, the benefit that's paid out to you is 100% income tax free. So you're getting that $12,000 a month or whatever it is that you get tax free. Furthermore, and this is the most important part of this, the benefit is paid out to you in a cash indemnity basis. So every month you get the long-term care benefit, and A, it's not taxable, and B, no receipts are required. So what if I trigger the benefit in 10 years and I'm 60 years old and I'm a male and my benefit is $700,000 total, or my monthly benefit starts out at $9,000. That actually is equivalent to about $12,000 or $13,000 taxable, because I'm not paying any taxes on that $9,000. So It's pretty exciting. If I don't use the benefit, then my beneficiaries would receive $172,000. Even if I passed away in the first year. So I make my deposit, I transfer my dollar from my left pocket to my right pocket. I'm 60 years old. It creates $5 for my care. And if I don't use it and I pass away at any time, it's worth $172,000 for my beneficiaries. Isn't that cool? So it's definitely not a use it or lose it proposition. It's a proposition where you're just repositioning an asset from your left pocket to your right pocket. It's still an asset on your balance sheet. If you needed to get at the cash, you could get at the cash either through a loan in the policy, or you could get at the cash by surrendering. You would take a hit if you surrendered it, but the most important part is that it is a full return of premium, in this case, plus another $72,000 for your beneficiaries if you don't use it. So how do you get information about this new exciting ROP LTC, Return of Premium Long-Term Care Plan? Well, there's a couple ways. First of all, you can go to our website, which is shop.epmez.com. shop.epmez.com. And you can go on and you can order this report, this brand new report. And if you would like to get it at no cost, you put in the code CLIENT, CLIENT. Put in the code CLIENT. And from there, you will get this at no cost. If you don't do that, it's, I believe it's $14.95 or something like that. But if you would like it at no cost, that's one way to do that. So you'll find out more about that. The carrier that's involved in this has a brochure on this, and I would show you, but I don't want to show you the name of the carrier, but this is the brochure on that we have available on our website that you can get. You can email me personally at david@epmez.com. This will all be in your show notes, so all this information will be there so you can check out exactly all of this contact information. The other way you can get information on this is actually, a lot of you that I'm talking to already know about leverage care solutions and asset-based care plans and return of premium. And now we have a 10% discount, the lowest it's been in years, certainly lower than the plan that we have been recommending for years, because now it's 10% lower and pretty much everything is the same. All of the guarantees are still there. And so all of this is guaranteed. You put $1 in, it's worth $5 immediately for care. That's guaranteed. And then the 3% compounding is guaranteed. So all of that is guaranteed. And the pool increases, and that's all guaranteed. There's no, what if the market does this? What if inflation does this? It has none. This is all locked in and guaranteed. Okay. The second way to find out about this is to go to our website, ROPLTC.com. This is a special website that we have designed specifically for this. And go to the analysis request form. Just go right there. And in that, you will be able to get your personalized analysis. It will be emailed to you. There'll be a follow-up telephone call. I will tell you right now, it's not something that we're not going to follow up on, but it's something that if you would just like to dabble with this and find out what it looks like, go and see what this would look like for you at your age. Now, I got to tell you, probably the 10% discount is a very important thing, but probably the most exciting part about this new plan is this. If you are age 40 to 65 and you apply, there is no medical exam and no qualifying interview. There's no cognitive test. There is, you fill out the form, and if you qualify for it, if you don't have major illnesses in your life, crippling illnesses in your life, then, and you check all the boxes correctly, you will actually be approved within 24 hours and will have your policy within 48 hours. So this is exciting because in the past, everybody that applied had to have a qualifying interview. Here, we don't have to do that. Now, if you're under 65 and under, if you're 65 plus to 75, because it's available from 40 to 75. If you are 66 to 65, you will need a cognitive interview. You'll have an interview by one of the underwriters there for this carrier. And you may have to have an attending physician statement. They'll have to send to your physician and get information from your physician on anything that you might have, your attending physician. So just be aware that that is there for those that are over 66 and up. And so that is different. But if you're 65 and under, this is the easiest way to get the return of premium long-term care. And it's, again, let me emphasize, it's just repositioning an asset. You're not spending money. You're just repositioning it. So if you have an asset that is not performing quite well, or you have a CD that is earning 3 or 4%, just transfer it into here. And automatically you have an augmentation, a minimum of 3 to 1 for your care. So that's the return of premium long-term care. That's the news that I wanted to share with you today in today's podcast. Again, if you would like the report, go to shop.epmeasy.com. shop.epmeasy.com. Any questions, just call me at 480-899-1102. All of this will be in the show notes for you. But now is the time, 10% reduction. Everything else is going up. This is going down. So now's the time to move. Thanks and have a wonderful day. And next week, I'll be talking about your IRAs and what to do with your IRAs and in the light of estate planning. So until next time, this is David Phillips. Make it a great day and keep your wealth in the family.